So guys, it's 17:05. So let's start off with our disclaimer. That's our logo, Forex and Trading Institute. Live Zoom Forex Trading from 5 to 5:30. That's supposed to be 5:05 to 5:35, yeah? Yeah, because you guys not time bana. We decided to give you an allowance of 5 minutes, so at least manze, we can see what's up. Anyway, so guys, that's the number you need to call basically if you really are interested in joining our Zoom session. And down to the disclaimer, this 50 Global Zoom presentation is for educational purposes only. Trading in the Forex market involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. So I think that disclaimer is very clear. And then down there, there's the NITA accredited. We are the only NITA accredited trading institute in Kenya. That means we as trainers have been certified by the National Industrial Training Authority to offer training on trading, both Forex stocks and cryptos, name them. So straight to what we have. So let's go to our charts and see this trade here. So, Jiga, can you remember what on Tuesday we had in our Zoom session? You remember what I said? I was anticipating EU to go to
19,345.
Yeah, which is what it has done today, right?
Yeah.
Josh now uko kwa session.
Yes, so.
Mambo, can you remember this EU trade on Tuesday when I said I anticipate EU to go to 1935?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so basically, and I remember I gave the reason as to why. But for those guys, I see, I can see there are people probably who are not there. Let me see. Let's see the participants. Labda kuna watu watafloat. Gracie was not there. So I think, Gracie, for your sake, acha tuseme why why I was looking at that opportunity for EU to rise there. So I was looking more at the monthly chart. So if you go to your monthly chart for us who use the Beat the Market Maker, BTMM, as you can see, there's an EMA. And for our classes, Gracie, you remember we've been talking about the 200 EMA acting as dynamic support and resistance? Gracie? Okay, maybe her audio is out. So anyway, so basically, that was the reason as to why I was looking at opportunities to short EurUsd from 1934, 35 around that area. And we drew this up on that day. And I remember yesterday in our live trading group, right? I gave out this Nini. I gave out this Nini yesterday in our, this one. I remember saying yesterday in the evening, those in the Zoom session yesterday, EU is headed to the strike zone. Let's see what gives tomorrow during London or New York session, right? So you guys, that was the heads up I gave yesterday. And it was based on that. Jiga, I only saw your message today in the morning. Yeah? That was 19.45, right? Correct, yeah. So, and as you can see, that trade went to that area today, as you can see from our charts, right? And it came to London session. I anticipated this trade to come during London session, right? And as you can see, London after this spike over here during London Open was what the cure was looking at, which is why in the live WhatsApp group, you guys can see, I was telling you, I remember telling Jiga that, you know, we are waiting for that candle to close. If it closes in a hammer, then we are good to go, right? And as you can see, closed in a spike, that candle. And yeah, that's when I had my nene. Jiga, can you mute huyo mwenye ameingia kona kelele, please? Thank you. So anyway, so that was the reason why. That was the reason for
mute
the entry.
everybody except Robert. Make mute everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was the reason why we were waiting for this candle. You remember at this time, if you look at this candle was the one I was counting this candle. So if we add this Kenyan time plus 1 hour, it should be 10:45. And I remember this conversation, we had it on WhatsApp. 10:45 around that time, when we were having this, like at this time, this candle is the one I was waiting for. If it closes in a hammer, we are game. I was looking at this candle to close so that we can have at 11. The candle closed at 11, right? So, and when this candle closed in a bearish candle, this candle over here, this bearish candle, that's when I knew they've done what they wanted. They've hit stop losses, and they had trapped guys. Remember at one time, this candle heading to 40 over here was bullish, right? This candle was bullish. If you go to M5, we will see it better. You can see that candle was bullish at one point in time. Look at this candle. This is the candle we are talking about, right? It was bullish at one point to trap guys into thinking we are going long. And then we can see how that closed. And that candle closed pretty well. So that was my cue to go in. And yeah, if you look at my entry, it was around that same time. If you look at my entry, it was at that due to broker time, that's why I've said add 1 hour to this. So it was at 11:04. That's when I took that trade. And as you can see, that trade has dropped 30 pips. And I believe I gave all this projection. This projection, we had it. As we can see, we will see from the projections, all this was shared in our analysis, remember? Right, so that was the before. I still had 2 other pending orders because I anticipated this trade to have 3 take profits. I was looking at 30 pips, 40 pips, and 50 pips. 50 pips was the last one. So unfortunately, as you can see, 2 of my sell limit orders were not activated. So we still dropped with that one during, and after, as you can see, it would still have hit my 50 pips. But anyway, so this would have been adjusted to 85 because I was looking at an entry of 85. If you look at my sell limit orders today, let's look at today. So those are the limit orders I had. Unfortunately, they missed with around 2 pips, if I'm not wrong. So I had to cancel later when I realized those guys are dropping without me. So this one was to be 40 pips, this was to be 50 pips, and this one was to be 30 pips. So this one closed exactly at 30 pips. And I was pretty much comfortable with that trade. So anyway, that was the bias. That was the trade I was looking at. And there's a quote here I found really interesting, and I think it's something in line with what we say. This week I was just looking at that EU. If you guys can remember on the session on Tuesday. Because really it had that good target in terms of the EMAs. So this is a quote by Ivan Biagi. I hope that's the correct pronunciation. The stocks, currency pairs, cryptocurrencies, or commodities you've researched and fully understand are the ones you should stick with. Put them on a watch list and wait for them to set up. If you guys can see, my watch list was on EurUsd. No trade today. I didn't take any other trade. That's why yesterday, guys, in the live WhatsApp group, I updated you guys and I said, you know what? EU is headed to our strike zone, because I was really scouting that trade so much because I anticipated that trade to play out. This is the thing I gave you yesterday at around 7. Those in the Zoom session, which was Tuesday, headed to strike zone. That was the strike zone. So guys, that tells you that I was sticking to that. You guys remember I've been told when I was talking about on Tuesday, those who were in the Zoom session, my mentor has told me to stick to A setups. Those setups that I've been sticking, I need to stick to only high probability trades only. And that's why I was scouting for EU PK, right? Because that's done that analysis and that was in my trading plan. So that was basically what I was really looking at on EU, and it has gone to script, right? I don't know who else took this. Jiga, you've told me you just missed out with a few pips, yeah?
Mine didn't activate.
Pole. Hata mi unaona two of my sell limits failed to activate. I had
Yeah.
anticipated this bullish candle. Unaona this one? This bullish candle here, I anticipated it to come. And as you can see, it came to 1933. So it missed my entry with 2 pips and dropped. So that's why these 2 of my sell limits were never activated. But it's okay. We miss out. There'll always be another. Like we always say, there'll always be another trading opportunity coming in. So
If you see the
but
5 minute, it was forming
yes.
a nice shoulder head shoulder. I had also one up there, but
Huh?
I had 2 entries. It didn't activate any of them. One at 45 and one was, I think, at about 70.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was the trade I was really looking at, and I think in the WhatsApp group, I remember sharing this trade as it went along. So if you took it, well and good. Yeah. So that was it, and yeah, at this point it was still on. So anyway, those are 30 pips booked, and I think we are good to go. Anyway, so today there's something we've been saying that these Zoom sessions are not just about analysis and it's also about trading psychology. Our students, Akina Jiga, Akina Josh, Akina Masi, I've seen Gracie. It's all about having that mindset also, that trader's mindset, to be able to kind of figure out why is it that most of the traders get caught up in greed, get caught up in hope, get caught up in fear, get caught up in fear of losing money, all those kind of fears which we've covered before, right? So, and you guys know I'm a fan of Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio is just the epitome of just a trader who never gave up. Those guys who follow this guy, at one point in time, the Bridgewater's company back then in the 80s crashed. He lost everything, closed shop. His dad actually loaned him $4,000 to kickstart his life. And right now, Bridgewater is the biggest hedge fund in the world, right? Managing $1.6 billion, I think. It's supposed to be 16 trillion. So it's $160 billion, right? So, but this is a guy who failed so badly that, his father had to come through for him. So this is, and you guys, this is a book that you really need to read, because I read this book 3 years ago. Look for it. It's called Life and Principles. Life and Work. Principles, Life and Work by Ray Dalio. So I think I want to put this in the context of trading, right? Some of these principles. So the title, Principles for Learning from Mistakes. Point number 1, don't feel bad about your mistakes or those of others, love them. For example, if today, Jiga, the way we've missed out on those sell limit orders, let's not feel bad about it, Ama. We just let it, because there'll always be another trading opportunity coming in. So we just be easy on it. Recognize that mistakes are a natural part of the evolutionary process. Basically, if you look at trading, we make a lot of mistakes, right? There's the fear of missing out. There's the chasing of trades. You plan a trade and then you don't take that trade. We have a lot of things that we go through. Only later you go back to your chart and then you start saying, yeah, I should have taken this trade. You start questioning yourself. Probably you even beat yourself up saying, why didn't I take this trade? So these are just some of the things that we go through as traders. But that's why trading is considered a high performance career, by the way. It's the same question I was asking. I remember asking this in some Zoom session. How many of you have had some of these athletes? Anyone who's ever gone to the Olympic without a trainer? I remember asking that question, right? And I remember most of you guys saying, yeah, they've never had someone, because really at times you really need a mentor who will hold your hand, someone who will show you the journey, show you the ropes, try to be there when you go through that rough patch in trading, that kind of thing, to hold your hand basically. Number 3, teach and reinforce the merits of mistake-based learning, right? So basically, we're looking at when you're going through mistakes, do you learn from them? Anytime you make a mistake, you just let it go, right? So basically, you really need to look at that anytime when you're going through those mistakes, fear of missing out when you decide to chase a trade. You really need to note that down. Remember, I covered this sometime in June this year. Was it June, July? Go back to our Zoom session in June, where I was talking about the mental notes as part of your trading plan. Your trading journal, sorry. Your trading journal, apart from entries and exits, you should also include the emotional part. Before taking that trade, how are you feeling? Were you fearful? Why were you fearful? Maybe you used a bigger lot size. Maybe you didn't follow your trading plan. Maybe you were chasing a trade and you are not supposed to chase that trade. That's the reason maybe why you are taking. So that kind of thing, you really need to learn from them. Number 4, be self-reflective and make sure your people are self-reflective. I think this is all, if we talk about self-reflection here, is the same thing we are looking at, right? For example, even right now, as we speak, I'm also reflecting on that EU trade. Why? Because I really want this trade to get into my subconscious mind. So the next time, anytime I see it, I should take it with confidence. At times, we all know even the best setup will fail, but at least if you have a string of wins in a certain setup, then don't worry about it. You really need to take your trade, let the other things play out. And of course, the reason why you will not be emotionally affected is if you observe risk management. If you're only afraid of losing, if you have a trade and you've set out, you'll be losing 2% of your account, definitely you will not be fearful when taking a trade. But if you've over leveraged your account and if you're supposed to use a 0.05, maybe you're using 0.50, right? Definitely you'll have some fear because you're always thinking, what if it goes against me? I may lose half of my account. So that kind of thing. Number 5, create a culture in which it's okay to make mistakes and unacceptable not to learn from them. Basically, in trading, you will make mistakes. If you listen to guys like Paul Tudor Jones, PTJ, if you listen to all these hedge fund managers, they'll tell you they end up making mistakes one way or the other. That's why, like, if you go to let's say prop firms or even hedge funds, you'll find a desk of analysts and a desk of people who execute trades. So you'll be in a situation where, like, their work is only to analyze. After analyzing, they give another desk the execution part. So there'll be no emotion involved, right? So that kind of thing. Anyway, so number 6, observe the patterns of mistakes to see if they are products or weaknesses. We've talked about this, I believe so, through your journal. If you look at your trading journal and include the emotional aspect of trading, if you journal down anytime you have fear, were you fearful? If you go back to your journal, it should tell you the progress you've made, right? And if probably you're every time you take a trade, you're fearful, then you'll be able to know why are you fearful, because you had noted it down. You are fearful probably because you over leveraged. You are greedy, you over leveraged. So look at that, and you will consider that a weakness, right? Yeah. So number 7, I think we've been talking about this, and pain plus reflection is equals to progress. This is Ray Dalio's most important point. Every time we go through pain and then we reflect, basically, if you reflect pretty well, there's a high chance that you'll make progress. Because let's say, like, you blow your account, and I've always said, if you're a trader worthy salt and has never blown an account, then personally, I wouldn't consider you yet initiated in the trading business. because all traders, we've seen Ray Dalio, he lost everything. It was because of a trade that went wrong, and he lost everything. So, but the reason why he came actually with point number 7, the reason he came up with point number 7 is because of the pain he felt, right? He went through a lot of pain. Imagine being at the high of your peak at your career. I think he had a lot of stuff by then. And he made, actually the trade that he made, the trade call he made, he did it in front of the media, right? I think, I don't know, to him, he normally says he was egoistic. He was caught up in an ego trip because he went just dumping, saying, this is what will happen, this is what will happen. Unfortunately, it went against him. So you can imagine the kind of feeling he had when, he lost everything in the media. Also, people thought, they're like, he doesn't know anything. So it's always good. And then it's always, after that reflection is when, like, we can speak now and say he has the hedge fund, the biggest hedge fund in the world, right? Create guardrails when needed, and remember, it's better not to guardrail at all. Basically, guardrails ni zile, like those barriers you see around a river on the road, that prevent you from, falling over a car, for example, or a person in a cliff or an edge. You have those rails. So at times as humans, we end up building walls, right? So if possible, and I believe this is where that goes back to that point on high performance. As an athlete, anytime you suffer a loss, who is there to help you out? Who's there to hold your hand and tell you that that's not the end? You can always stage a comeback, right? So if possible, you shouldn't have that. But then again, in most cases, not unless you're really strong, a mentor will really be able to kind of help you out of that situation. Because in trading, you'll get to a point where you'll have blockages, and even you'll get to a point where you're freezing, like you're unable to execute a trade. That's normal. But with time, if you have a mentor, he should be able to tell you that, it's normal, but, show you how to recover out of such a situation, right? For example, when you have a string of losses, 10 losing streaks, you end up freezing at some point in time, because your subconscious gets affected because of the emotional pain of losing money, and the financial pain also. Number 9, diagnose problems to get at their root causes. Basically, this is where, like, we're talking about why did you over leverage, right? For example, you're supposed to, that example of 0.05, you take a 0.50. Why did you do that, right? Basically, you'll find that probably if you go to the root cause, the reason you are greedy in most cases is because you have some financial obligation. You'll realize probably, like, right now we are end month, it's about end month. Maybe you have some rent you're supposed to pay. These obligations, you've been caught up in an emergency, you're supposed to cater for a certain bill. So you end up over leveraging, and we all know what happens in such situations. In most cases, you end up blowing your account or getting margin called. So, but anyway, it's all about that. So I really was going through this, and remember, we've been saying, we should constantly be learning. Personally, I stand with this, that any day that I don't learn something new, then that day I've not grown. So in most cases, I'll always be reading a book, and mainly trading things. I'll be reading stories from hedge fund managers, stories from proprietary trading firms, all these kind of people, to get to understand how these guys handle some of the things. Because if you're really passionate about this business, you'll want to understand the whys, right? Why is it that you're greedy? Are you the only one who gets greedy? But then if you go and review videos, like if you go to YouTube, guys, and see an interview by Paul Tudor Jones, who is a hedge fund manager, saying how he blew an account at one point in time because of being greedy, right? So you'll realize even these billionaire hedge funds traders, at one point in time, they went through these stages we are going through. So it's normal. Only that, they learned from that. They learned from their mistakes, and they reflected and had that progress to where they are right now. So anyway, that's basically what I really wanted to look at in terms of trading psychology, and cover that in hindsight. And then, so not unless probably there's a question, I would really want to end this at this point. That trading psychology was probably something I really wanted to cover most. Any question, guys? Gracie, finally you're back.
Yeah, hi Robert.
Mambo, how was you?
I'm good.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. How are your trades, Leo?
I haven't been trading. I've been so busy with the other work.
Okay, okay.
Sasa nataka kuuliza December tuna trade kweli?
If there's an opportunity, by all means trade. You see, in some cases, the volumes will dry up in December. But come last year, something was really interesting. The volumes were still there. I expected actually the markets to be ranging, but interestingly enough, kulikuwa na setups. I remember because I'm a December baby. I remember December at some point in time, even after my birthday, I was trading and I was like, I have never done this payday in a long time. So yeah, there were opportunities. So if you see a setup,
nice.
if you see a setup that falls in line with your trading plan and has all the criteria for entry, why not?
Okay.
Yeah,
great.
just take a position and let the trade play out.
Okay, thanks.
Yes. But there's one thing you guys need to remember. We still have that whole uncertainty in the US. So things are not yet over. So there's that cloud. There's still that cloud out there. So if you're looking at your trades, you really need to look at your A setups. And if possible, not if possible, reduce your lot size. Try and minimize on what. If, like for example, if we look at the trades I've taken this month, November. Let's say this smaller account. This account was funded. This account was funded in November 29th. As you can see, the number of trades I've taken in that 1 month, ni chache sana, right? And I'll be closing the month 10% up. But it's not about nini. You just, when you don't find a setup, you just don't find it. You just walk away, right? So don't force these things. Let them come. Wacha you play out when you play out, and you will just focus on good setups pekee. Devesh, hi, Devesh. Awesome. Karibu Grace. Devesh, did you check up the EU?
Yeah. I was in the EU.
Awesome. So you booked your pips, huh?
Yeah, I just had it 2 pips above the HOD, if you notice that spike over there.
Okay. Nice. The initial HOD, the Asian.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice one. So, Masi anakuaga amenyamaza, mute. Josh, tell me, how are your trades?
They are all good.
So you unacheza tu kiwewe.
Nacheza tu kimimi.
Awesome, you guy. Nice one. I don't know who's this Grace. Kuna Grace Wanjiru. Grace ni wewe wawili. You logged in with your laptop and your phone, ama? This is another Grace.
No, that's not me.
Oh, this is another Grace. Okay.
I think it's my friend Lisa.
Oh, she's also called Grace.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yes, she's Grace. Actually, she's Grace Wanjiru like me.
Oh, nice. I hope she's doing well in Dubai. She's near Kodubs, ama? She's on in Dubai?
Yeah, she's okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice one. Anyway, guys, Tushar, do you have some wisdom you can share also?
Basically, Robert, I'm actually taken the small trades, but still, I'm actually not trading because, November, December is actually the settlement for the imports and exports. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as a fundamental and the fund manager for the bank also, I'm actually monitoring the dollar strength and everything. But yes, I have some positions for the GU on the short side, and I'm still maintaining that actually because the long-term bias is a short. So I'm actually still maintaining. Let's see how it is turning. Otherwise, by December end, I might even book a loss of $3,000 around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so guys, pretty much we can close it up. If you guys have no question, yeah, not unless there's a question from the team, I would want to close it up. Otherwise, you guys, those who are new to these Zoom sessions, remember we still have our classes still ongoing. So that's the poster. You can have a look at it. Those are the contacts. Basically, Exact Global College is our training partner. Offices are in Parklands, but if you look at that, there's a number you can contact. If you're really interested in joining our intake, then you could go there physically. The office is open by day, so you can go there, get to know more about our classes. Also, you could, if you want to sign up, they have the admission forms. Everything is processed through them. Then from then on, you get to join our classes. So otherwise, guys, if there's no question, let me end with this parting shot by Albert Einstein. Only one who devotes himself.
Roberto, let's plan for them as well on the December how the live session will be, so we can even produce the date to them.
Yeah.
And these days only we are taking, because you see, basically most of the people, they will travel or maybe something else, I don't know, for the December. So just give them the date. From this date to this date, we are not even handling any session, so they can be clear. And these only particular days we are taking the sessions, and then till the January. Sawa. And
actually,
all our student and everybody, they make sure they collect their diaries and calendar from our offices, please.
Oh yes, but there guys, their diaries already, 50 global diaries, and also the calendar. Second Parklands Avenue, Kirvam House, wapo utaenda tu tushari is there. As long as you're our student.
Sorry.
Yes.
I miss our meetings. Our meetings, the ones we used to have every Saturday?
Physical. Yeah, first Saturday of the month after NFP.
Corona should really go.
So basically January we will start handling some people with the COVID protocols and everything, but we are still talking to the Excel Global College. Once they will be full and running, then we'll see what we can do. Until that, we have to bear with it in the online.
Okay. Yes, Grace. Excel Global, is the one that, we used to hold those sessions at Excel Global, right? So as Tushara said, wenyewe akitupatia protocols, if the space and whatnot, then we can go back to those monthly seminars.
Awesome.
Yeah. So let me end off with this quote by Albert Einstein. Only one who devotes himself to a cause with his whole strength and soul can be a true master. For this reason, mastery demands all of a person. I believe this is all about if you love something, you go all in. If you're passionate about it and you persevere, then of course, there'll be light at the end of the tunnel. Otherwise, guys, cheers. Have a good week. See you next Tuesday for the Zoom session. Otherwise, happy trading, guys.
Thanks.
See you, Robert.
Cheers, guys. Cheers.